Before we begin day 3's program, let's have a review of the day 2 exercise. So this is my day2.py. As we can recall, creating a Fibonacci sequence involves us remembering two numbers. I'm going to call this n1 and n2. We seed these two numbers with 0 and 1. And we also keep a count variable so that we can track how many numbers we've created. So because we start with 0, we need to say while count is smaller than 20 to produce 20 numbers. We first print n1, and then we create a new variable, add the n1 and n2 together to conceive n3, where n3 is going to be our next number, and then we simply reassign values smartly so that n1 and n2 now contains the current number and the next number instead of the previous results. And then we also register in our counts where we count how many Fibonacci numbers we have produced. If this while loop runs 20 times, we'll have counted 20 numbers in the Fibonacci sequence, and we have also performed the Fibonacci update 20 times. And that's how we produce day2.py. Please note that it's very likely that your code looks different from mine. Again, I want to stress that in programming, as long as you can produce the right results in a similar time, we should all be happy. Let's move on to the main bits of day 3.
Control flow and loops in Python. In this section, we're going to take a look at number 1, introducing control statements. Number 2, how we can use control statements. And then we're going to talk about loops and how we can use loops in our Python code. Introducing control statements. In this video, we're going to look at number 1, what are control statements? Number 2, the if statement, and then the if-else statement, and then the if-else-if-else statement. Let's dive in and take a look. To properly introduce control flow, we need to go back to our operators lesson and think about things like 3 larger than 2. Imagine if we have a variable called, let's say, age, right? And the age can be anything, and let's assume that for now, for our purposes, it's 21. We want to see whether a person's age is, let's say, larger than 18, right? For, let's say, certain legal applications. So we have age larger or equal to 18, which returns true. So the idea behind the control flow is we want to do different things depending on the situation. The situation being encoded in a variable. So if the age is larger or equal to 18, we want to do something. If it's smaller than 18, we want to do something else. This introduces us to the if statement. So the if statement is very simple. We say if something is true, then we want to do something else. In Python, what you do is very simple. You type if space, and then you say, let's say, age larger than 18. And you would see that IPython has helpfully given you the second line because it knows that after the colon, you need to say what happens if age is larger or equal to 18. For us, it's very simple. We can say you are older than 18. Print this, press enter. You will see that because age is 21, which is indeed larger or equal to 18, the if statement is true, and we print you're older than 18. Conversely, if we reassign age to, let's say, 15, and then we run this if condition again, you see that nothing happens, because now age is smaller than 18, and so the if condition sees that the condition is false, therefore it skips whatever that is after the condition with after the colon, and so nothing happens, right? The other thing we want to notice is everything that executes if the statement is true has to be indented by 4 spaces, as you can see here, and Python leverages spacing to tell which blocks it should execute if there's a control statement, right? So let's demonstrate this by if age is larger or equal to 15. We first want to print yes, and then want to print age is larger than 15. So what we have here is we can notice that the whole block of two print statements are both indented 4 spaces to the right. This shows Python that this is a group of statements, and this group of statements executes after we have decided whether the age is larger or equal to 15. So in Python programming terms, this is called a statement block, and a block is grouped in the Python language by how much it is indented. So what if we want to print messages regardless of whether the age is 18 or not, but we want to print different messages? What we can do is use the if-else clause. What we can do here is if age is larger or equal to 18, we say print you are older than 18. And then because we've done everything we want to do if the age is larger or equal to 18, we need to remove the indentation, i.e. remove the 4 spaces, put else there, start a different statement block, and I want to print you are younger than 18. Because age is 15, what Python has done is it has first entered the if condition. It has figured out whether age is larger or equal to 18, which it isn't. So it skips this one and goes to else, which catches the cases where age isn't larger or equal to 18, and then you're younger than 18. The third variation is else if. So what we can do is we can say if age is larger or equal to 18, we print older than 18. If this fails, so if the condition age larger or equal to 18 is false, we don't need to necessarily fall back into the catch-all else. We can say else if, ELIF in Python, and put in a different condition. So we can say age equals to 15. We can say print you are 15. Else print not the right age. Because age is equal to 15, Python goes into the if statement, fails the first conditional, and goes to the second conditional. In the second conditional, it returns true, which means that we're going to execute the second program statement block, printing you're 15, and not go to else. We change age, on the other hand, to let's say 2. We want to rerun this, but we don't want to retype this. As we said in the first section, we can press the up button in IPython to get back what we have executed before. We execute this again, and we notice now that because age is 2, neither of these conditional statements return true, so it goes to the else case and prints you're not the right age. And that's all there is to it. So we've learned that control statements allow us to do different things and execute different statement blocks depending on the value of a variable. There's an if statement, an if-else statement, and an if-else-if-else statement. In the next video, I'm going to show you a concrete example how we can use control statements. I'll see you guys next time.